Hello! Today I am going to talk a little bit about the misconception of selfish, whether it is selfish to put yourself first, and talk a little bit about self-fullness instead, which is a concept I talk about in my book, and really comes from the premise that when we have a full cup, or when we've looked after ourselves, when we are full to the brim to overflowing, we've got so much more to give than when we're operating from an empty cup and there's nothing there. So the title of this was the misconception about selfish and how to be more self-full. And my first question really is it selfish to put yourself first? And I'm interested to your gut response to that question, because although a lot of us understand the concept that I'm talking about, that it isn't selfish to look out after ourselves, there is still this idea that if we put ourselves first, that we're in a place of ego and that we're being selfish. And that really is the thing. The connotations of being self-interested is that that's a bad thing, particularly in some of the circles that I work in, or in this part of the world, being selfless is seen as virtuous. And I really do think it's just a simple misunderstanding. I think of it as selflessness versus self-fullness. And so the lie really is that praise and acknowledgement from others means I've made it. And so that's really about looking outside and expecting other people to acknowledge you and to tell you whether or not you're being selfish, or whether you're looking after yourself right, or whether you're looking after other people right. And the truth is that the more you love your decisions, the less you need anyone else to love them. And it comes down to this kind of lie or belief that other people have got it all figured out, and that you are a fraud or an imposter or a blagger. And I'd really love to help you reframe this belief so that you really get that looking after yourself, or being self-full, so looking after yourself first and foremost, being so full because you're well looked after, well nourished, taken care of, means that you've got so much more energy to look after other people or to be selfless in that respect. And the truth is that no one has a fucking clue what they're doing. Everyone is just making it up. And the more creative and in touch with your feminine energy you are, the more in touch with that creativity, innovation and creation that you are. And I'm not talking about masculine and feminine here, I'm really talking about energies. The more that's true, the more that you haven't got a clue what you're doing, you're just following something. And how wonderful is that? How would the species evolve without that feminine energy, without innovation, without creation? And as I say, it's got nothing to do with masculine and feminine, much more to do with the energies. And the truth is that taking responsibility is empowering. Nobody else can look after you like you can. Nobody else knows how to acknowledge you in a way that makes you feel received. And when you are looked after, when your needs are met, then you have more to give in the world, and then you can be selfless. If you're not looked after, let's be brutally honest here, what have you got to give? If your well or your cup is empty, there is no water and there is nothing to share. So your basic needs must be met before you can serve others. Getting your needs met first and foremost, and then reaching out, is the most powerful thing that you can do. The more that you look after the more you have to give. And success breeds success. T. Harv Eker, one of my favourites, says success is a habit just like failure or mediocrity. So in order to create a habit of success, we must do what we do with all habitual behaviour, and that's normalise it. And so this is to do with celebrating the small wins, reframing this understanding about selfishness and self-fullness, and find our own ways to recognise our own achievements. And this stops us from seeking external approval, which is quite often what actually motivates us looking after other people before ourselves. So ultimately, the most important person to impress is you. Keeping yourself motivated and being realistic about what you can do and what you can't do and what you can achieve is really important. For example, if you don't hit a deadline that you've set yourself, rather than seeing it as a failure and beating yourself up, why not just move the deadline, acknowledge the feedback, learning and everything that goes with that, and then give yourself more time and refine the resources available next time you go through that. Celebrating your ability to recognise feedback and adjust it is one of the keys to reframing and choosing how to acknowledge the evidence that we've got, and coming back to that thing of being self-full rather than selfish. So when you're looked after, this is the main thing really, when you're looked after, when your needs are met, the more you have to give this world. And from this place, you can be a person who is truly of service and has more to give. So today, give yourself what you need rather than seeking it from others. Treat others as you would wish to be treated, and treat yourself this way too. I hope this has been helpful in some way. Thank you.